Hey there, Cancer. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button down below. It is free as always. And as always, I'm happy to have you here. Now, I'm telling you, Cancer, I'm doing channels ahead of time now to get a deeper feel with where we're going. And it's talking about you refusing to see the good in this difficult situation, something that's been going on for some time. It was a tower underneath, the mind being blown off in regards to love, the power of love, definitely deep hidden hearts, desires, that type of thing. The stuff that your face looked fine and resolved, but I could see, I mean, it was just definitely black, but I could see the depth of the pain, the loss, that type of thing going on. You've forgiven 70 times 7 and you refuse to give any more because you're like that. It never was enough. It never was enough. You're ready to take that covering off and to walk away. Now, for some of you, that is a relationship. That is a marriage that has to do with the covering. Okay. You ready to blow the cover off of this thing and to become something new. You're trying to shed the situation. All right. Enough about that. But what I can tell you is we only know our part, and there's something going on in the bigger scheme of things. And that is the role of confidence. This area of the heart has to do with, it's talk about redefining your knowing. So we're pulling it back from the other person, from the situation, from the thing that's out of balance, off point, that type of thing. So it's talking about there being a sweetness to this, and it's making me think of the full moon reading because it was called a sweet moon, a sugar moon. So you might go back and check out that reading that we've just finished through in Libra, because this is the first half of April reading is what we're doing here. Is we're winding up the old lunar year, which is very much your card, and we're moving into the new lunar year. So it's closing out the old mindsets, rectifying debts, that type of thing. And it's obvious with Taurus showing up behind you off your shoulder. It's looming like in the distance of that resistance to give. But that thing is life is wanting to give into you. So that resistance, that door being locked, is also keeping out the good. That's what I know, what we call good or bad, but really beneficial things, nourishing things, nurturing things. But you had experienced a lot of loss in pleasure things and money. And I can see why that door has been kind of barred and banned for a minute. But, listen to this reading, see how it resonates with your soul, your spirit, and your guides, because only you know what's going on your journey, okay? And make some decisions from there. But the one decision I would like to encourage you to make is to decide to be happy. Creativity wants to return. In that decision to be happy, life can begin to facilitate and flow through that door, that gate, and that opening, all right? So our affirmation for you guys is, I surrender to the flow of the joyousness of living. And for some of you, I hear an undergirding saying, I surrender to the flow of the juiciness of living. Depending on which level you want to go to, all right? So we're going to find out what could be sweeter than this. All right, Cancer, let's start you out with a pearl. Let's get a pearl to start this off. Now, I'm telling you, Venus is at the head of this. And Venus is something that has to do with love and money. It has to do with relationship, right? It has to do with your relationship between love and money, and to stop the cycle of spinning that's been going on there. Not spending, spinning, all right? And to allow this to come to you, to allow this happiness to come to you and to be restored. So we have the Magician and the Mirror. Bring in heaven on earth. For some of you, you might have been caught in some idea of twin flame, that type of thing. But twin flame has to do with devastation and separation. All right. The 5D and the 3D, but it never comes together here on earth. But the thing is, this wave of plasma that has moved in with this new era, when the era of Earth left out at the end of December last year, we've been trickling into this plasma. And the plasma is heaven on earth. It's where the 5 and the 3, okay, the polarity, the veins and the arteries all come together at the heart. This is very much heart energetics, the 4, because 8 plus 3 equals 4. But when we realize that we're connected with an energy beyond ourselves, and that relationship is the one with life, 4 goes unto life, 4 goes unto us. It is in perfect balance and union. It is harmony, that what is good for you is good for life. What is good for life is good for you, okay? That's the first thing we want to synergize here. And I love that they're getting your prep and your setup. They don't even want me to get into the fact that there's a double star sitting up there over this first half of April coming in. It's not about planning. It's about preparing. And you've been preparing for this for some time, but you're like, my coffers are dry. My pockets are empty. My cupboards are bare. I have nothing left to give. But that's why life's wanting to give unto you, so that you can. It wants to give in abundance and give freely and give juicily and deliciously and happily and all of that coming in. Can you imagine that energy coming towards you? I mean, I used to dream of the day when I would see people with a happy face when they see me coming. You know, often people are like, oh yeah, there's joy or whatever. I don't mean anymore, but I've always been this way, y'all, and the world was not necessarily receptive to it. But I knew there would come a day, because I believed it in my heart, that I would see the look on someone's face when I'm coming, the way I feel when I'm coming towards them, because I'm like, oh yay, there's so-and-so, because I genuinely get excited about other people's happiness, their success, their celebration. That's how this channel came about, okay? So it's about that happiness and receptivity to life, that life is abounding and excited to see you, juicy, overflowing, wanting to show love on and into you, okay? Here on earth, not in the separation nor the devastation, okay? So we have amethyst coming in, and we have cluster amethyst coming in more than one way. All right. And it's not about choice point-based decisions, things that once felt like they were pulling you apart. They're now bringing together to let you see that you are the whole, W-H-O-L-E, not an H-O-L-E, not a deficit, not enough, you know, more than enough, any of that, but bringing you into the centrality and the balance of who you are. So let's get some solar energy going on for you. Let me dive down to get that Cancer. Okay. Talking about the heart of the matter. That's what you're wanting to check out in this new birth, the Page of Discs, the origin. You're wanting to inspect the origin. Okay, so you're wanting to either go back, but I'll say let's take this forward, but we will go back with it, okay, to see kind of like a needle and thread, stitch something together. So the point of origin is the star. You want to take it back to your birth. You're wanting to go back to that place of purity, of harmony, and let's start from there. Let's definitely do it. So let's get a spiral of life on that underneath yin. Look at that. I love it. It's letting me know you're receptive. You're wanting to reestablish that high heart energy, that innocence. You're like the washing of the eyes, the innocence. Okay, you're helping piece it together. Thank you, friend. And to bring it into the now, thus the going of the distance, bringing the unlikely into the likely, the heaven to earth. That's what you're talking about. That high heart is that heavenly ray, that vibration of hopefulness, resiliency that children have, of every day being brand new. I love it. Let's get an affirmator. Well, let's get a little spread of affirmators here. Ooh, baby, we got to get some stuff out your back and clean out. I see 4 wands peeking forward, and we're going to have success with that, is what it's letting us know, because you've decided your boundaries, and not boundaries that people can or can't cross, but like the definition of who you are, you know, who you are and how you operate. When we come into our chart and the knowledge therein, ooh, this one doesn't come out often. Page of Swords, taking a turn. So this is you disturbing a bit of Saturn with some Uranus energy coming on in. So check out where Uranus is in your chart, and maybe tune into one of those messages, especially from this week, first half of April energy coming on in, because it's going to be in synergy with what you were discussing here. You're talking about wings of the heart, restoring that hopefulness for yourself in regards to divine connection. 6 of Cups, ultimate reciprocation. That's maturity here as well. Not just that high heart hopefulness of kids of like, oh, just gonna wish it's gonna happen. No, you're like real life. This house has a porch. It's not just indoors, it's outdoors too. It is a firmament. It is a foundation that's very Cancerian, 4th house type energy going on. And there's a card sliding off over here. To start a little passion, leave it to Cancer to bring up passion. You're like, who, what you talking about? I'm like, I saw that burning in the back of your eyes. You know, when you look at photographs and the pupil has that little speck of light, that's what you were talking about with that star up here, that gleam in the eye, that new birth, that power. Leading to the mighty mountain. Okay, so where are we stepping to? We're going to step into, okay. It won't let me move the deck, so I've got to pull off the top. We have the 6 of discs coming in. So this is taking it out into the linear, moving back in time and coming forward to take it into the spherical, into the loop, into the lemniscate. Very much big papa operators, operational energy, okay? You see that right there? That's at the heart of the matter, getting into the circulatory system, and not just our blood and lungs that pump, but how it really all comes together right in the center of who you are. Let's see. I want to get an angel with you for that. Who's at the bottom there? Chakma, the bottom of the heart, the right eye, and the wisdom. Absolutely love it. And again, reiterating that you want to bring this into reality, that you're like, I don't want to put in the effort. I don't want to even allow this happiness unless I'm going to taste it and see that it is good. You're like, I don't want to begin to get hungry and then not eat. So let's talk about that satisfaction and fulfillment. Who was it talking about for fulfillment? You might check out Aquarius. That's right. Aquarius's read. That's what you're wanting to know. It kept bringing up you, and now you're bringing up it, which would make sense with the star and the gleam in the eye, because it was talking about life wanting to give a gift that leads unto fulfillment. This isn't a sleight of hand magician, false magician type energy going on there. One false commitment of unfulfilled promises, of that type of energy going on. It's very much the word fulfillment comes along with it, not a displacement or a payment. This is coming into the truth because it is a gift, like of Venus coming in. These were sitting on top of my hand. We have Rim, the angel of time, and Uriel, the angel of flame. So you're wanting to know, is this an eternal flame? That's what you're asking. When we step into eternity, into the sphericalness, into Venus, the heaven on earth, it does become a sphere. The world is no longer flat, is no longer a disc that we look at, kind of like the moon, seeing that flatness. Now, the thing that they want me to reiterate this in this going season of the tapering out of the lunar year is that the moon is always whole. Whether it's full, whether it's quarter, whether it's new, whether it's waning, it is always full. It is spherical. It is always whole. It's spherical. And when you step into that sphericalness, that dimensionality, that's where the eternal flame exists. That there is no shadow of turning, being left out, being leveraged, taxed, that type of energy. It is that 5 and the 3D coming together into the 1, into the eternity, into the infinity, into that wholeness, right? Remember? Here, okay, that what is good for life is good for you. What is good for you is good for life. Trust, 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 trust. Absolutely love that, Cancer. Trust. Now, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below. Also, titillate those buttons. Give it a like. It is free to give it a like, and it shows your love and support and gets YouTube all excited, and they will share this video with people who might not otherwise see it, and they too can step into their truth and help color up this world, that all our joy will be shining, all of us in the fullness, the fulfillment, and the satisfaction, that we will be hungry and satisfied. I love you. Comments, compliments down below, even compliment yourself. And hey, Cancer, consider checking out that Aquarius read. And remember our affirmation: I surrender to the flow of the joyousness of living. And for those of you who like the little extra, I surrender to the flow of the juiciness of life. Me too. Hey, I love you. Stop back by soon. Bye.